Do you want to know when tarot cards were invented? Was it 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt? 2,000 years ago in ancient China? About 500 years ago in Italy? Or a little over 100 years ago in Brooklyn, New York? Got your answer locked in? Alright, let me tell you. Alright, and congratulations to Joffrey from Michigan. You got it right, Joffrey. It was in fact 500 years ago in Italy. That's right, tarot cards were not invented thousands of years ago in Asia. They're actually invented about 500 years ago in Italy. And not only that, they were invented as a playing card game. Just a playing card game with no mystic or spiritual significance at all. So how do we get here, with tarot cards nowadays being seen as having mystic or spiritual significance by some people? Well, that's what I'm going to go over in this video today. First, I'll look into why tarot cards seem perfect. Next, I'll actually get a tarot card reading to see the hype. Finally, I'll go over what I think tarot cards are useful for and what they provide some deep truth about. Happy Halloween, and let's get into it. Also, before we get started, I just want to clarify that I don't have any kind of agenda either way. I'm just trying to take an anthropological and psychological view of why people find tarot cards interesting, because I like studying cultures and this kind of thing. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, new location, but here's a quick history of the tarot cards. Very briefly, tarot cards were invented in the 1300s in Europe. Then in the late 1700s, they began to be used for the purpose we know today, divination. An entire fake history of tarot cards involving ancient Egypt and black magic and everything was invented. Today, France still has a strong tarot gaming community, playing a strategy game, which again has nothing to do with mystical forces. According to Decker, Dupali, and Dumay, quote, historians have described Western views of the tarot pack as, quote, actually I guess it wasn't a quote, was it then? There's a quote from Wikipedia. But now this quote is from the people. Quote, the subject of the most successful propaganda campaign ever launched. An entire false history and false interpretation of the tarot pack was concocted by the occultists and is all but universally believed. So that's the history. In short, they're Italian playing cards. Now let's get into why or how they seem to predict the future. Alright, new location, but you see that? Can you read that? Just making sure. For me, the accuracy and helpfulness of tarot cards boils down to three things. The first is universality. Everybody goes through the same kinds of struggles. The third is adaptability. Tarot card readers can easily change the meaning of the cards based on your reaction. And the third is a safe space. A good tarot card reader will listen to your problems and give you recommendations in a safe environment. This could send you down a good path or a bad path, depending on how good the tarot card reader is. Okay, first, universality. The messages in tarot cards apply to everyone. New beginnings, love, hardship, enemies, tough times, good times, new jobs, lost jobs, needing money, not wanting money. I mean, these are all universal human experiences. You have gone through every single experience on every single tarot card. That is universality. Next is adaptability. This is where it gets a little bit better than, say, like a fortune cookie. Let me explain why. So this is a graph on relatability versus specificity. Specificity is like how specific is it to your life versus how general it is. So down here near the right are fortune cookies. They're very relatable. Everyone can relate to the meanings of them, but they're not specific because, again, everyone can relate to the meanings of them. Let's see. Smells pretty good. Want to smell? You have a kind and generous heart. Nice. Thanks. Maybe not everyone can relate to that. I mean, the election is in like a month. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So again, fortune cookies. Everyone can relate to them. They're very relatable, but they're not very specific. They kind of just make you go, after you read it. And no one would think that like fortune cookies have like mystical powers or anything, but that is where tarot cards come in. When you first get to the tarot card reader, you start here, near fortune cookies. There's some relatability, but it's still pretty vague, honestly. However, over the course of the reading, you move up with the tarot card reader reading you being like, oh, that's not true, or that is true, you telling them about your life, stuff like that, you getting specific experiences, you helping them along the way, you move up and up and up until you get to here. Now you're at the top of the y-axis and top of the x-axis with a very specific and relatable meaning. The difference between being here and being here is like saying you might find a $20 bill on the ground. Sure, you might. Versus George Johnson. On November 18th at 2 p.m., when you're on a walk on the corner of Land Street and 14th Street, you will find a $20 bill 3 inches from left from the curb. You must pick up this dollar bill. It'll be waiting for you, and it'll be gone only 17 minutes later. You see how the first one is pretty easily dismissed, but the second one lingers with you, especially if your name is George Johnson, I guess. That's the trick of tarot card readers. They start here, then they read your reactions, they listen to what you tell them. They slightly change your messaging, they fish your responses, and they slowly move you up to here until you're convinced these people are dealing in black magic. It's a very convincing trick, but there's one more aspect that solidifies all of this. Finally, there's the safe space, and what happens here stays here. And this is actually similar to therapy. One of the best indicators that therapy will work is not actually the therapist itself, but rather your relationship with the therapist. If you feel like you're being listened to and the therapist cares about you, then you're far more likely to heal. The therapist is like, yeah, oh yeah, that's crazy. Same with tarot card readers, same with anyone actually, even a friend or family member or a kind stranger. If you feel listened to and understood, then you feel a whole lot better about whatever is bothering you. This is where tarot cards can genuinely help people. If there's something bothering you and you have a stigma against therapy and also don't have anyone to talk to, going to a tarot card reader can be a more comfortable way to get something off your chest than by just holding on to it. Honestly, in some areas of the country, it really is less stigmatized than therapy, which is crazy to me. And I get it. Therapy can be hard. It's much easier to go to someone and have them read your fortune and maybe tell you what you want to hear. It probably does help a lot of people. I want to be clear. I don't support tarot cards over therapy. Therapy is a completely different process, grounded in research, that will challenge you and help you grow, and therapists are trained with dozens or hundreds of patients with years of research, and they actually know how people work. They don't just tell you what you want to hear or tell you vague platitudes about life. So go to therapy. All I'm saying here in this segment is that I get it. I do get it. So that's my thesis, and probably the thesis of everyone else that studied this. It's basically that tarot cards can seem accurate and helpful for 3 reasons: universality, adaptability, and the creation of a safe space. But there's only one way to really know, right? So for the next part of the video, I want to get an actual tarot card reading. It wouldn't be correct for me to criticize tarot cards or interpret them or say this that worked or that how it works. We're looking at a real, genuine, third-person perspective on tarot cards. So let's go find a tarot card reader and read my fortune. So unfortunately I contacted some tarot card places and they didn't seem too keen on giving me a reading. No, I really did call places. I called one place and they said that, the first place I called, the phone number didn't even work, which is weird and not great. The second place said they don't allow recordings in the room. And the third place said they, quote, don't do records. Okay. So I'm going to take matters into my own hands and do a tarot card reading on myself. I'm going to become a tarot card reader. So I got a tarot card deck, and the online... Is that a sign? So I bought a tarot card deck, and online it says do a reading for yourself, and the first thing you have to do is shuffle the deck, and they said that you can stop when it feels right, and don't worry, it will feel right. So let's see if that's accurate. Okay, well, I wouldn't say that it feels right necessarily now to stop, but I don't know how to keep shuffling, so I'm gonna do it. Okay, now I've spread the cards on the table. And so the reading I'm going to do is going to tell me my past, present, and future. So I'll pick one card for my past, one card for my present, one card for my future, and look online to see the interpretations of those cards. So for my past, this one feels pretty right for my past. Actually, no, it doesn't. This one feels more right. It's the Hermit. for my past. Set that aside. For my present, this one. I think this one's still calling me. I don't know. There's no label, but it's the 4 of something. For my future, let's go to the very end of the deck. This one, my future. It's a reverse card. The 2 of something. Let's see these aside and see what the Hermit means for my past. Okay, so the Hermit says, I take space when I need it. A time of deep self-reflection is upon you. The Hermit is the major whatever. He walks in the darkness with only a lantern in his hand to illuminate his path. A time of solitude, but not of loneliness. Alone with his inner voice. The true direction his life should take. I mean, I guess like when I first saw this, what I interpreted is that I moved around a lot as a kid. In fact, I didn't stay in one house for more than 4 years when I was a kid, and I still haven't. And so the Hermit could be me, I guess, going from place to place. A bit of solitude, but not loneliness, because I have my whole family with me, of course. So I guess that's kind of the past, but I'm interpreting a meaning onto that. So, I mean, is it accurate? It's accurate because I put a meaning onto it. I was never a hermit in the past, literally, but... Okay, now it's time for this one. Let me see what this one is. Oh, it's the 4 of Wands, and this is my present, by the way. So this book says that they are, for once, almost on the surface. Country life, repose, concord, harmony, prosperity, peace, and the perfected work of these. Let me look it up. So this card symbolizes stability, security, and sense of belonging. So this is just the perfect time to gather your loved ones and celebrate special occasions or simply join your large company. Okay, well, I'm in a position of stability right now because I have a full-time job for the first time in my life. And I've had one for like a year now. Security, I mean, I'm still like not super secure. If I quit my job today, I would only be able to survive for a little bit. But it is relatively stable. I mean, I have a stable relationship, stable friendships. Yeah. But then again, you could easily say that it's a time of change because of like this new channel I'm starting, and also the acting stuff I do on the side, and the fact that I don't have a lot of money saved up yet, and the fact that I just moved here a few months ago. So it is a bit of time of stability, but a little bit of instability. Things out of black. Time of stability, also instability, which is true for everybody, I guess. But of course, let's see the last one. Let's see this one, which is reversed, which I'm excited about because reversed tarot cards have different meanings. Okay, so according to the book, it's the 2 of Pentacles. Okay, it signifies a future where you'll need to focus on balancing multiple priorities, juggling responsibilities, and adapting to changed circumstances with flexibility, while maintaining a sense of vitality and finding joy amongst the demands placed upon you. It often indicates a period of needing to manage your time or just carefully maintain equilibrium. Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense for my future because, like I said, I have this channel and a full-time job. I'll be balancing both of those until maybe I don't have to anymore. So that makes sense. I'm also working out more now, so I'm balancing that, and also a personal life, of course, and sleeping and eating and all that. So, yeah, I do have a lot to balance in life right now, and I'm sure I'll have more to balance in the future. So that was the reading. It was pretty interesting. I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed the tarot cards because it does help to kind of solidify your mindset on things a bit, because it just brings up whatever you had before swirling in your mind. It kind of needs to like bring it up and look at it closer, and then remove it from the swirling unconscious of your mind and put it like on a wall. I mean, it's a very weird analogy, but yeah, they were accurate because I made them accurate. Although the last one, the juggling responsibilities, was probably the most accurate of all, without me having to imbue any meaning onto it. But also if it told me that I needed to focus on one responsibility, that was also been accurate. So I don't know. I mean, just like these cards, you can interpret how successful you thought this was. Anyway, back to the main video. So overall, my final opinion on tarot cards is that I personally doubt that there is a mystical or universal force imbuing meanings into your tarot cards. I just don't see any good evidence for it, but I'm happy to be convinced otherwise. Also, the fact that they were invented as playing cards, but now people say they have this whole history of magic stuff and divination, all that. That's pretty good evidence that they're not actually mystical. I mean, it's like if in 400 years from now, people took Connect 4 and said that, oh, this game can predict the day you're gonna die, and it was invented in ancient Mesopotamia, and it's got this amazing history. It's like, well, you just made that up, so that's not good evidence. However, I do see evidence of tarot cards helping people. I think that's pretty undeniable, because I think tarot cards are unique in that they can very easily and gently prompt someone to talk about how they feel. If you're in a therapist's office, it might be tough to bring up bad stuff that happened to you, but if you're prompted, like by saying, oh, it looks like something bad to you happened last week, what was that? It might be easy for you to talk about things. Again, to be clear, I'm a big proponent of therapy, and I would never recommend tarot cards over therapy. I'm just saying, I get the appeal. I get it. I really do. So that's about it. I just want to make a fun video for AOD's Halloween special. Have you seen a tarot card reader before? I actually have in person. Maybe I'll tell that at a different time. But if you've seen a tarot card reader before, let me know in the comments what it was like, if it helped you, if it didn't help you, how accurate, how not accurate it was. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Anyway, I don't have an intro yet, so see ya.